JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 21st of December 2020. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're gonna have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page right here, which you can also check out on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the charts, so a quick update on what's happening here with the DAX. The German index is declining heavily. It fell. If you remember this morning, I was saying that if the price somehow manages to remain above this 13,460 territory, then we might see a bit of a reversal here back to the upside. However, as you can see, the decline continued. We opened up with a huge gap to the downside here, and the slide continued, even breaking this short-term tentative upside line drawn from the low of the 13th of November and almost reaching this key support zone near the psychological 13,000 mark. But as you can see, the bulls managed to push the price back up here. Of course, all this is not really going well here for the DAX bulls. Of course, the news on further restrictions in Europe, that's not working out well for for the equity markets here, for the European bourses. So we'll also keep on monitoring the US ones today later on, but I'll get to the S&P 500 in a bit. But of course, for now, for DAX, it's a huge down day, and of course now the big question here is, will this index be able to remain below this territory right here, this upside support line, and this 13,233 mark, which, as you can see, previously acted as a good area of actually of a good area of support. But the 13,233 level, if you remember my videos previously, I've mentioned this level and I said this is the level, this is the opening price of the opening level of this year. Basically, so far the index is in positive territory just fractionally for the year. It was already in the negative zone again, but let's see how all this is going to play out. Like I said, it's going to be very interesting running up until the December 31st to see where this index is going to end. Will it end below the 13,233 territory or actually above it? Now, jumping into S&P 500, and the index here also is not feeling well, and I would say that the cash index is not really feeling well because we saw a huge decline. And if on Friday the index closed near the 3,709 zone, well, I mean, the price right now on the cash index is balancing around the 3,660 mark. So basically just fractionally above this upside support line drawn from the low of the 6th of November. However, if the price somehow ends up closing below this, well, I mean, guys, This could turn out to be even uglier for the bulls here, and we could see this one, this index declining further south. So for now, all eyes are going to be on the market open and on the way the U.S. equities are going to U.S. equity markets are going to close today in relation to this upside support line here on the S&P 500. So if the S&P 500 closes below this upside line and then also below the 21-day EMA, then, well, I mean, further declines could be possible, guys. So beware of that. Now jumping into DXY, it did push higher at one point. As you can see, I talked about this index this morning, and what I was saying that a break of this downside line is required, and also a push above the 90.60 territory is also needed in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside. So we did get initially that push. We did get a move towards the 21-day EMA area here. It got a hold up here, and now, well, the big question, can it actually move higher once again back above this 90.60 territory? If it can, yep, we'll aim for some higher levels. But if it doesn't, if it struggles still with this downside line, well, probably I'll take a bit of a careful and maybe even a neutral stand here, because still I would prefer to see a drop below last week's low here near the 89.73 zone in order to consider lower areas, guys. So for now, I'm kind of playing the waiting game here. I'm keeping an eye on the 90.60 level on the upside and the 89.73 level on the downside. Now jumping into gold, and gold is trading nicely above this 1875 territory right here. So of course initially we had a decent move higher. During the early hours of the morning we saw a huge decline, but then it would picked up the pace and it moved higher above the 1899 level here. But as you can see, it's now back to this 1875 territory. It's a very volatile day for gold here, and yep, it's a bit of a choppy one. So hopefully, guys, you are trading this one. If you are trading this one, then you're trading this one carefully with your stop losses, because like I said, it's very easy to get caught out in something like this here. So today I'm keeping an eye on this 1875 territory. If the price today, if the daily candle closes above this area, then I'll continue maybe remaining cautiously bullish. But if it suddenly starts dropping and closes below the 1875 territory, then yep, maybe I'll take a bit of a neutral stand here, because for me to consider the downside, I would prefer to see a drop below the 1849 territory right here. Quick update on WTI Oil. Also tested the area here near this 46.24 level, and if you remember, guys, I've mentioned this area because for me that's the level I need to see a break off in order to consider lower areas. So for now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep an eye on this hurdle here, the 46.24. I need to see a nice daily close below this area in order to aim for some lower levels. But the fact that the commodity managed to get above the this upside support line again, so that's kind of puts the downside a little bit under question. So let's keep an eye on this upside line. Let's see where in relation to this upside line the daily candle will remain today, and then we'll take it from there tomorrow. Now Ethereum, quick update here. You can see it drifted lower, and now I've removed all the drawings just to see how this crypto trades in relation to some of these EMAs here. So basically you can see that in relation to the 21-day EMA, this 21-day EMA shown as the yellow line sometimes does act as a good area of support, sometimes even resistance. So at the moment you can see today it acted as a fantastic area of support. It got tested perfectly here, and yep, so far it's kind of providing support. Now in terms of this upside support line, which I'll draw right now, there we go. Of course, as long as it remains intact, yes, we will continue targeting the upside. But if we get a nice reversal here, if we get a nice or I wouldn't say a reversal, actually a break of this upside line, if we do get a break of this upside line, then yes, of course, lower levels could be met, guys, and we could aim for these levels that we saw here in the beginning beginning of December. But again, for now, long story short, I'm keeping still an eye, like I said, on this 21-day EMA and this upside line. If this whole area continues to provide support and we see a nice rebound back up, then yes, I'll aim for the upside. AUDUSD. So look at this strong drop to the downside. Of course, risk-related currencies like Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar are taking a hit today due to equities falling. And yep, as you can see here, a perfect example. AUDUSD drifted lower today, even managed to drop slightly below this 0.7484 territory, but as you can see, it still remains above this hurdle. Now that hurdle is the high of the that's actually the highest point of July of 2018, guys. So this area is currently acting as a good support zone, and also the 21-day EMA does its trick. It does provide a bit of support here. So long story short, guys, for now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to continue monitoring this area together with this 0.7484 zone, together with the 21-day EMA. And if it all provides support, then yes, a higher level, it could reverse back to the upside. But if it doesn't, then all eyes are on this little short-term tentative upside support line drawn from the low of the 13th of November. But if that gets broken and the rate falls below the highest point of September here near the 0.7414, now that's where it could turn out to be a little bit more ugly for a few more buyers. USDJPY, quick update here, did push higher, but as I've mentioned to you guys last week, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep an eye on this hurdle, this 103.65 territory. As you can see, we managed to overcome it today, but it then quickly reversed back down, so it still remains below this area. Previously that acted as a good support zone, now it's taking the role of resistance. So if it continues to provide resistance, then yes, another slide could be possible. So keep your eyes on that one. GBPUSD here, the pair drifted heavily to the downside, of course, on the news that UK is not really doing well with all the coronavirus restrictions and all the pandemic restrictions. Yep. So and the fact that the some European countries did close, or should I say canceled, all the let's say movement between UK and well, some of those European countries. And of course the pound is taking a hit, and you can see it took a strong hit, dropping heavily today from, it was this morning it was around the 1.35 mark, and it managed to reach the area near the 1.32 zone. So basically a 300 pip drop. That's what the GBP pound today experienced at one point. So yep, still I'm sticking to the same idea that if we get a drop below the 1.33 territory here, the 1.3287 zone, that's where I'm gonna get a little bit more excited with lower areas. But at the moment, it's still hanging in here. Of course, if it stays below the 21-day EMA, it increases the chances for a further move lower. However, just to be a little bit more on the safe side, a drop below this 1.3287 territory right here could do the trick for more sellers. A quick update on GBP yen, also the one that I've mentioned this morning. As you can see, we've managed to reach this area here, this highlighted area, but as I mentioned to you guys as well this morning, that in order to aim for some lower levels, I need to see this daily candle remaining below this highlighted area and below this 137.20 zone, because basically this whole area could be seen as the lower side of the range where the pair is currently trading in. And at the same time, if we see the rate dropping below this, then yep, we'll continue targeting lower levels. This would of course break the lower bound of the range, and yep, more sellers could join in here. So keep your eyes on this one right now. It's very interesting developments. And of course the pound, don't forget that the pound could remain very, very volatile running up until the December 31st. So yep, let's see how all this kind of roller coaster will play out here on the GBP pairs. And finally, quick update on EURUSD. So although we had a strong drop today, this morning, almost reaching this upside support line drawn from the low of the 4th of November, as you can see, the pair reversed back up here and is now trading back near this 1.2215 level. So in other words, as I've mentioned to you guys previously, that as long as the upside line stays intact, I will continue I will stay somewhat bullish. But if you want to get a little bit more excited and comfortable with higher levels, well, what you could do here is probably wait for a push above this the high of last week here near the 1.2273 territory. So keep your eyes on that one. Okay, guys, I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to join my videos tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. For now, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.